Hello, pirates. So, yesterday you should have watched a video and taken notes about the 8 parts of speech. Technically 9, I left the articles out. Today you're going to take notes about author's purpose, PI, reasons for reading, writing, communicating. Everything we do when it comes to reading, when it comes to writing, when it comes to communicating, everything we just basically do in life, we do for 3 main reasons. We do to persuade, to inform, or entertain. And that's what PI stands for. So, we're going to stop and watch this video. I love this video.
Well, maybe you're just not thinking while you're reading. Reading is thinking!
One thing that good readers do is they ask themselves, what's the author's purpose?
This helps you think about why the author wrote the story. Author's purpose is as easy as P-I-E. Hi. P is for persuade. Does it want me to save the earth? Or find things to promote? Only which way I should go? I is for inform. Does it teach me math, science, and social studies? Or explain something I can tell my buddies? E is for entertain. Does it make me happy? Does it make me cry? Does it make me laugh? Make me sad? When I ask the question, what's the author's purpose? I think about why the book was written. When I ask the question, what's the author's purpose? I think about the book I'm reading.
Was it to persuade, inform, or just entertain me?
When I ask the question, what's the author's purpose? I am a great reader because reading is thinking!
All right, we give credit to what we do. So, now let's go back. Again, whenever someone or something creates or does something, they do it for 3 reasons: to persuade, to inform, to entertain. Or maybe 2 of them at once, or maybe all 3 at once. This is not just for authors as we believe them, as people who write. An author is a creator or an originator of something. Directors, producers, artists, musicians, game coders, etc., etc., etc. Anything you create, you are the author of it. And what you're trying to do is, again, when you're trying to teach someone something, when you're trying to do something for someone, again, you're doing it to persuade, to inform, to entertain. Again, P is for persuade. To persuade is to try and convince, advise, or urge someone to do something through reason or argument. Most examples are things like advertisements, editorial, opinion, debate, argument, etc. So if we click on advertisements,
Man, I might just chill tonight.
we're going to watch probably the stupidest commercial of all time.
Puppy monkey baby. 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 Mountain Dew Kickstart. Dew, juice, caffeine.
So, again, that's my opinion, persuading you why I think that's the stupidest commercial of all time. Because it makes no sense. Obviously, we say 3 things in one are, the best thing in the world, what Mountain Dew was talking about. And so they were talking about Mountain Dew, caffeine, and energy, same as having a puppy, a monkey, and a baby together. Again, that commercial again still gets the notoriety it is for just how horrible it is. That's what advertisements try to do. They try to persuade you to buy their stuff. So if we look at editorials and opinions, like here is an opinion from the Chieftain from August 16th saying, "Great times ahead." You heard it here first, talking about the awesome things that are coming to Pueblo. Finally, the last thing would be like a debate or an argument. So if we read this article, we settled the cola debate, find out which brand tastes best. The old idea of what was known as the Pepsi challenge, what was better? Pepsi or Coke? Those are examples, again, of things that try to persuade you, try to tell you to do something. Now, you may have your opinion of the way you believe. You may believe that Mountain Dew Kickstarter is great, that Pueblo has better times, that Pepsi's better than Coke. But they're still trying to persuade you with their argument, with their ideas. Next, we have inform. I is for inform. Inform is just give information. Inform usually leaves personal bias out and just gives information. Like a textbook. If we're talking especially like science, like math or science, when you're learning about y slope intercepts or 4x times 3 equals 15. I don't even know if that's a good math problem. You're trying to solve it. Again, that's just informing you what something is. It's not trying to persuade you. It's not trying to entertain. We'll get into that. You could be entertained by math. It's up to you. News, like newspaper, magazine, television, online websites. Again, like NFL.com. When I go to over here on the right side, this is all just news that the Browns agreed with Kareem Hunt on this deal, that the power rankings, that the Rams, Kaepernick's going to be in Madden 2021. This is all just news, what they're telling you. We're down here kind of at the bottom. Some of this stuff could be opinion, like this trending stuff. Now, I know what some of you might think, that, we think of this idea of news having some bias. When we watch the nightly news, we should look and always think that news is just giving us information. It's not to say that not some news programs don't try to persuade you sometimes, but mainly the news should just report factual information about what's going on. Instructional manuals. So if I'm reading, my car magazine, here's an AMC Eagle manual about saying what certain AMC Eagle types have. This is just giving you factual information. It's not trying to persuade you. This may entertain you. Dietary labels. This is something we're going to learn about in health in a couple of weeks. This is just factual information, what some label has. They have to give you this information based off of Food and Drug Administration guidelines. That's just informing you things. Where, if you have deals with sugar or salt, you look and say, I can't have this because it has too much sodium or too much sugar. Recipes. Recipes just give you information. This Instapot chicken and cauliflower rice soup for we low-carb eaters like myself just gives you the information of how to create this recipe. Reference texts, encyclopedias, etc. These are just things that tell us things. Again, your textbook for history just gives you historically what's happened. Encyclopedias do that. Again, E is for entertain. Entertain is to give pleasure, satisfaction, to take one's mind off something, to give solace. Again, movies, music, shows, games, writing, reading, sports, activities, etc., etc., etc. Again, anything that, in your own opinion, that you do for pleasure and satisfaction. Again, mentally you're feeling drained. You need something to take your mind off something that's bothering you. That entertains you. Obviously, again, we have our persuasion. What some people think is a good movie, I may think is a horrible movie. What a movie that entertains them, I may have to be paid $25,000 to watch. Again, it doesn't mean that it doesn't entertain one person, even though I hate it. Again, sometimes entertaining, again, is just subjective. Afterthoughts. Again, reasons for pie can be subjective based off of taste, literally and figuratively. But the author created it for one purpose first and foremost. Find out the reason without bias. Again, just because I might be entertained off of reading a science textbook doesn't mean that someone wrote a science textbook to entertain me. They're giving me factual information. A lot of textbooks in science and history and math, those are made more for information purposes, even though I may find them entertaining. Again, some creation can be more than one pie aspect at one time. Again, that can depend but its main purpose and audience members' belief. Sorry, I forgot to put the word on right there. But it's always one first and foremost. Find the reason without bias. Again, you may love science. You may love going to Mr. Moore's shop class. He's telling you how to build a birdhouse. That's just information. Because you're a kinesthetic learner and like working with your hands, you find this assignment entertaining to build that birdhouse. And then later you may persuade me why I should take this class. That can be all the aspects of pie first and foremost. But first and foremost, what Mr. Moore is doing is he's informing you. He's teaching you how to do something so you have a skill. I don't have an end slide. Again, I hope this is informative to you. Again, you should be taking notes on this because you can use your notes for tomorrow's assignment, the worksheet that will be up tomorrow. Thank you very much, Pirates.